Wait, why are we starting? We don't have a slogan.
What do they do in a studio? The man comes out with a clicker.
They say, and we're live.
Okay.
And we're live. This is Two Nice Girls Talking Podcast.
Welcome, everybody.
This is Goose and...
Otherwise known as JRK or Jenna.
Do you want to explain why you go by JRK?
We're just getting hot off the bat, eh? So Emily and I just showed up. We got Starbucks at Target and bought these headphones.
They were $10.
Yeah, it was a good deal, though, for the situation, right? JRK came from high school when I made my Instagram handle literally in 7th grade. You know that KJP brand?
No.
They make these boat clothes and, like, boating bracelets. It's a Nantucket company. And his Instagram name was KJP. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I love Vineyard Vines at the time, right?
I feel like my initials are kind of like that.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll make my Instagram JRK. So I tried to get it, and I tried to buy the handle off of somebody.
In 7th grade?
Yeah, because I'm like, I really want it. And someone already had it. So I was DMing him, like, I'll pay you $100. Like, I'll mail it to you.
That's so funny.
Couldn't get it. And then in high school, I had underscore JRK. Because I was like, I'll just add the underscore, whatever. First day of college, I'm in my dorm room with my new roommate, and we're about to do sorority recruitment. And I wake up to go on my phone when my alarm goes off, and my Instagram said it was, your account's been deleted. You violated our guidelines. So I'm like, great. Now,
this is underscore,
I'm a nobody.
This is underscore JRK?
Yeah, so now it's underscore JRK 2.0.
Oh.
It's so ridiculous.
Wait, why did it get deleted?
Because I was using copyright music.
Oh.
But I wasn't making any money off of it, so I was kind of like, this is pathetic.
Yeah.
They used to like take it off to videos in like different countries. So Bermuda couldn't see my videos for a while.
They disappear anyway.
Argentina, like,
What is that like whole legend, the Bermuda Triangle? Because I honestly am still terrified about that.
yeah, I don't know. I've never flown there. Have you?
No.
Yeah, I think you just could fly over and disappear. But my dad has boated through it twice and nothing happened.
And he's
Thankfully,
fine.
yeah. How'd you get to be named Goose?
Okay, so my last name's Goosen. So that's pretty much the story.
Didn't people make fun of you though?
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. So I have so many stories about like growing up with the name Goose and like when I was younger.
Yeah.
Literally so many. But my dad, he obviously was the original Goose. He's the OG Goose.
Yeah.
And he got called Goose like growing up, and especially when he joined the Marines.
But the guy's
Top
name,
Gun.
Yeah.
Top Gun. And he was, I don't know if he was in the Marines when that came out or like during the time.
Yeah.
But he was like the real life Goose in the
That's
Marines.
cool.
So it was really cool. And then obviously my sister went by Goose. Literally my name's Emily, and there's half the population of the United States is named Emily. So
Every
at
girl
least I
ever.
have my last name to fall on. But yeah, it kind of just stuck. So like half my friends call me Goose, half call me Em or Emily.
Yeah.
But I prefer Goose because
It's like it's a cool name.
yeah, it's
That's
different.
Kinda rare.
And my first name is just not unique at all. So
It's a pretty name though. I feel like it's definitely American.
thanks.
Right?
It's definitely American.
You don't meet people in Mexico named Emily
Yeah.
or like anywhere else, Europe, right?
I've
Okay,
never heard of like a European Emily, or maybe just because I've never been there.
Emily in Paris.
Well, she's
that
American
chick
going to Europe.
American? I don't watch TV that much. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I just
no,
saw
you
the
don't.
ad.
But you know, it was funny because you go by JRK and my initials are EKG.
Didn't you suggest that we name this JRK?
No, because in like okay, one thing about me is I have a very distinctive memory, and I literally remember everything,
Yeah.
like weird details of my life and like everyone else's. And I remember in 2nd or 3rd grade, I was in like art class, and my teacher like discovered my initials were EKG, and she was like astonished, like she was like stunned, and I was like, what are you talking? Like she's EKG. Do you know what that means? Like that's crazy. Like she made it seem like this huge thing, and I had to go along with it because I didn't want to like make myself look stupid. But like, what 8-year-old in reality knows what an EKG is?
Yeah. Hopefully none of them.
So I like went along. I was like, yeah, that's so crazy, but I have no idea. But yeah. Wait, should we talk about what this podcast is about before we start talking about it?
Let's go back. Let's get into first why we wanted to start this. So for me, I just been looking online, and I do video stuff, and I'm like, all these other people have been doing podcasts. I think it's super cool. I think it's a new way to get your voice out there and just to connect with people. And I think sometimes like a lot of folks are lonely, but like people are lonely, and sometimes you don't want to go out and meet up with a friend, but you want to hear some entertainment. You know, you want to hear that human connection of a voice in your head. So that's kind of was my reasoning. I'm like, if we can share joy, inspire people to try new things.
Yeah.
And especially encourage people that are in our same age bracket, like 20s.
That's what I want to touch on. Being in your mid-20s, especially in this day and age, is such a struggle, and like no one's talking about it. Dating in the modern world with the modern technology, it's just not as authentic. There's so many options that it's like overwhelming, but it's like, what do I do?
Totally. And I think people get thrown off because social media, especially. I'm not the one to say social media is the enemy, but I do think it puts out an impression that, you know, everyone has it figured out.
Unrealistic.
Yeah. It's unrealistic too, because like you go on it for an hour a day, you see these pictures, and that's only 30 seconds of that person's day, right? So it's like, it's not really, you know, it's not compelling. So then when you go on your walk, you're not convinced like what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
And you're thrown off. So I think it just gives, I want to shed light on that especially.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing you're coming here because I have a lot of stories about how much I've struggled the past 5 years.
Well, I think the dating thing is funny too. And I was happy to bring up that element because like you said, people like all these apps, like going on dating apps and stuff is insane.
I've been on a lot of them.
You're on all the dating apps?
So many.
Wait, let's get right into it. What's that? You were telling me about that Raya app.
Oh, okay. Well, Raya, I haven't touched it on yet because you have to be accepted. So I'm on the waiting list. But we'll see. We'll see about that. Raya is more of like a international dating app, I think. Whereas like Hinge and like I've only tried Hinge and Tinder. I've never tried like Bumble or
You're going to be on going dates out in Chile.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe one day. I don't know. I've been trying to be more like spontaneous rather than, you know, in my shell. But with the dating apps, the problem with those for me is like it feels a lot less authentic. Like when you date someone, like you're not just going on a date because you already clicked previously. You're going on a date because you guys match and you think each other, you like the profile you're seeing and you don't know the personality, and then you're trying to force something that like honestly you don't even know their personality, like you don't know anything about that person.
There's an element of human connection, I think, in, have you heard of pheromones or pheromone? Yeah. Do you believe in that? Like
well, I went to this
like
one
attraction to another person.
I believe in pheromones actually. What'd you say?
Isn't it scientific?
I don't, maybe. It sounds
so where'd
like
you go? You did it somewhere?
No, so I went to this one like thing with my coworkers. There was like a pheromones perfume we could buy.
Oh.
It was really interesting.
It tried to like attract people. Well, one
my
time
pheromones, but I ate like a piece of pizza and then I put like the pheromone perfume on and I was like, why does my pheromone smell like pepperoni? Like I was getting really like insecure because I was like, is my natural scent like pepperoni? And I
think sometimes if I smell really bad, I smell like Coney Island.
Coney Island?
Like that's gross too. My pheromone's Coney Island. That explains that my boyfriend loves Coney Island Tuesdays.
He loves like a chili dog.
Chili dog. He's a card holder, a rewards card holder at Coney Island.
See, that's what's so opposite between me and you. Like you have this like blooming relationship that like he loves your like chili scent.
Okay. It's like too far, but hilarious. No, it's
she
true,
actually
though.
Smells really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Like it's
do you wear
definitely
Le Labo?
Huh?
Never mind.
It's definitely a different dynamic, but I believe in that, and I think that connection doesn't come through on a dating app.
No, it doesn't. So
when
that's
you
my
walk
problem.
into a room, you're attracted to like certain people, right? As people that are similar to you, maybe people you get along with, or people you kind of like idolize-ish to an extent.
Yeah.
Like, how do you find that online?
Well, literally, that's the problem. Like,
we gotta get you on farmers.com.
Yeah, seriously.
Huh?
You only know about the farmers.com.
I just remember getting these commercials on my home PC. Remember the home computer?
Yeah.
Like, I love how we were in that phase. Like,
so we're going back to 2000.
Yeah, like 2005. Like, there was Farmer's Almanac, or like on an advertisement. And it was next was like Farmer's Meat.
Wait, but we're going on tangents.
Okay, so what are we supposed to go back to though?
With the dating, if you don't already know the person, like how do you meet and have a genuine connection?
Yeah, but I feel like you can get a good whim from it. Like if they're in the lifeguard tank top on a cruise with their mom, like green flag.
Yeah, that's
but like,
true.
If the mom,
I think me and you have a bit of a different.
No, but
because I would be like, that's a red flag.
I know, kind of red, like not recent. I'm saying like old.
Oh,
you look
that's
back
cute.
and they're in 7th grade and they're on the family cruise.
Yeah.
Like green flag, but you look back and the kids nowhere to be found. It's only selfies of the mom.
Yeah.
Like potentially like
Super
issue with
sweet.
a family. Like, you just want to see the family dynamic.
Yeah.
I think that's
Oh,
really
family
important.
is huge for me.
Yeah. So the fact that they do stuff together, or they're like the parents are involved in the kid's life, like that's a green flag. I feel like.
I feel like with me, I know when like I meet up with someone and I'm like, okay, this is not working out. Like,
Yeah.
this is not going to work out.
Dude, first dates, like when you're sitting across and you don't know where to look, that makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
you would,
Can you picture having to go on a first date again?
dude, no, I haven't been on a first date in like 4 years.
Yeah.
But like when I used to go on, I'd be like, give me the cup of give me the water.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Oh, I'm a big water drinker. Like if I'm like,
Because I
I'll
need
go
something
through
to
like
do.
3 waters. Yeah. On like a first date. And then I have to pee. And then I don't want to get up to pee.
Yeah. No, I always want to get up to pee to like check my phone, look at myself. I'm like, is this going well?
Yeah.
Decompress.
Yeah.
I think car driving makes it so much easier. If they pick you up, I know you can't really do this when you're meeting on like a dating app, but if they pick you up first, because then you're in the car and you don't have to look at someone in the car. Like you can look straight and talk, right?
That makes me so nervous. Like I'm having anxiety thinking about it.
Why? I think that's way better than showing up at the restaurant. I'd rather get picked up 100%.
Yeah.
And like sometimes Jared and I'll be meeting and it'll be like 10 minutes away and I'll be like, can you come get me first? Like,
Yeah.
just because
Well,
I
you
like
guys have known
riding.
each other too.
Yeah, so that's like not an example with the talking. I just like getting picked up in general. I don't really like driving.
Yeah, you're not a driver.
No, you'll learn that.
See, I actually like, I was like dating someone for like a second, like a few years ago. And I like picked him up for a date because I was like, well, because
That actually spooked me. Are you okay? Why did that happen?
because this is it goes back to like being a people pleaser. Like,
Yeah, you need to never do that again.
Like, no, listen, like I was like, don't worry about it. Like you're gonna have to go out of your way. Like I'd rather me go out of my way
Yeah.
than to have someone else go out of their way because I feel like I don't know. I just feel bad. So I'm like, no, like I can come get you. Like
Yeah.
drive the extra 30 minutes. Like,
Oh yeah, I could not.
and he was like unsure about it. And like even when he got in the car, he's like, I've never had a girl pick me up before. And I was like, why? Like I was acting like it was totally normal, which it should be. Like we're in the 21st century. What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
21st.
Like it should be normalized, but also it's like kind of nice for a guy to like take
Yeah.
initiative and like make me feel like no, like I want to like come out of my way to see you.
Yeah.
But that's where I fault myself. It's like I feel bad.
Yeah.
And I'm
But
like,
I
no,
think it
I'd
goes
rather
back to like the original, like how this works from the beginning, like how you're built, and not you, but the boy. Like there has to be an element of the chase. I'm not saying to play them. I just mean you have to be like from the beginning, women have associated with like being taken care of, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the fact that he has to drive to pick you up. I'm not saying you couldn't drive to pick him up, but it's just like that's his gesture of like kindness, right?
Even on a date, I'm like, I can go half and
yeah,
half,
like pay,
like and at least offer,
yeah,
like if, like I don't know, it's weird for me to like stand my ground to be like, okay, like set a boundary because that's like not like a bad boundary to have, but it's also like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Do you pay on a first date?
No, I never have, but I've always offer.
Yeah, I always offer to. I don't like anyone paying for any of my stuff.
But like if I
bothers
were to
me.
have to pay, like would it be shallow of me to be like I'm not going on another date with him?
No,
like,
that's not
like
shallow.
I know, but that's like the fine line of like the people pleasing mentality.
Yeah.
Like you understand that.
Yeah. No, I get that, but I think it's also like if you're on the 4th or 5th date and at some point, or if you're dating, like a lot of people split, you know, or they'll pay sometimes one way or the other. But it's like in the beginning, if he doesn't and you don't want to go out because that's a turnoff, like I think that's normal.
Yeah, and it also goes back to the foundations of if a guy really likes you, they're not gonna let you do any of that.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's just human roles.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm on the same page. But I think sometimes though it goes south and then you can give the person a second chance. So like if they came back around and they acted differently the next time, like 6 months later, I feel like people linger.
Yeah, I just have a really weird dating history. Like it's very all over the place.
Just since high school or when?
Oh, since high school into now.
Yeah.
I went out with like the pizza guy once.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
That he came to your door?
Yeah, so want to hear that story? It's really crazy, actually. My hairstylist loves this story. So one day, me and my best friend, we were calling Jets. Person on the phone was like going back and forth with us, like being funny. And then whoever delivered to the door, it was during COVID time, so he had a mask on. But my mom answered the door. And so like when we went up and got our pizza, my mom was like, the pizza guy was so cute, like whatever. And I was like, well, we got some funny banter back and forth on the phone. Like, I wonder, like, oh my God, this is crazy.
This is an icon.
So we ended up calling Jets back to like figure out, like, was this the same guy on the phone with us earlier that delivered the pizza to my house?
Yeah.
He ended up being the same guy.
Ooh.
So then we connected, and then he took me out. But we went on
But what?
We went on a few, like 2 dates, but he was a really nice guy. There was just no connection there. But
I mean, I don't know how people date randoms. I feel like you got to have somebody in your group.
see, I do date random people.
Like, I don't know how it does. Like, that's why maybe it doesn't work.
But that's why modern day dating is
them. You have to understand the dynamic and like be attracted to the dynamic.
That's why it doesn't work, because these people you're going out with on dating apps, they don't truly know you as a person.
Yeah.
They know what they see. Yeah. And I feel like that's one of my previous relationships, like, didn't work out.
Well, think about the old villagers and like centuries ago. Like, you're not dating Bethesda from 14 villages over. You're dating Mary Jane in your own village, right?
Yeah, you're dating Jeremiah.
Yeah, the boys. But I'm saying them. They're like, those boys aren't traveling across the country.
The problem with me, and it's not a problem, is I have such a tight knit like friend group, and I'm so lucky to have that, like, since I was little.
Yeah.
But like the guys in my friend group, like, I look more as like brothers.
Yeah.
No one impresses me like in that way where I'm like, it sparks my interest. What'd you say?
Do you have a marriage pact?
No, I don't. A lot of my friends do, but I don't.
I thought you had almost one of those going. Maybe you should get one of those whipped up.
I did have like a 6th grade relationship where I was like, oh my God, we're getting married.
Dude, middle school relationship.
That's a whole another story. Literally, we were like the it couple. I'm not kidding.
Dude, I had this one boyfriend in 7th grade. And then I was so mad because he broke up with me after a week. And then I started dating his best friend the next day. Because I was like just so mad, right? So I asked the best friend if he would be my boyfriend. And then we had lunch together, like on a date.
Aww.
At school. Like at the lunch table. And I remember he came over and was like, what are you doing? And he was like, the other boy was like, this is my girlfriend now. And then I felt so bad, but I broke up with that kid like a week later.
Yeah.
Just because the phase was over, right?
Yeah.
But like, it was just sad. It's tough out in the middle school streets.
Dude, middle school relationships are so crazy, but it's honestly the cutest thing ever, because when I look back, I like me and my friends would get so excited. Like, I haven't been excited about someone in so long. It's like genuine excitement. Like in 6th grade, like, oh my God, I know he's probably gonna see this too, because like he's one of my good friends. But like, literally when I saw this kid, I was like, oh my God, like, guys, I have to have him. Like, and I'm like,
say his name. He's
I'm like
gotta
11. Know. He knows who he is. It's fine. I don't need to say his name.
He deserves the shout out.
Yeah, we're good.
That's funny.
But like, he like dated one of my friends, and then we ended up dating.
And you were the dream boy?
Oh, he was my dream man. Like, loved him. But it was the type of thing where we would text and then see each other in person, and his face and my face would turn beet red, and we would like run the opposite direction.
Yeah. Like, not
like, there was one time in 6th grade that like his mom took a photo of us, and like the photos like we're like standing like this. It was during our choir concert, because that was like the cool thing to do.
Choir?
Yeah, it was like the cool thing to do
in
middle school. I can't sing. We've been over this.
Sing a beat.
Nah. No. But it was like the cool thing to do, because like the choir teacher was so chill. It was like a getting out of class type of thing.
Yeah.
Then we got a new choir teacher, and everyone was like,
we're
doing an elective. Like, no.
Guess what instrument I played in 6th grade?
The flute?
No. Okay. Offended.
I don't know.
Guitar
pack. What is?
Starter pack.
What is that?
If the flute is in your starter pack.
Oh, yeah. No, it's my recorder.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah. Wait, tell us that story. I played the tuba, though.
Wait, we're going all over the place.
I know.
You know, people are just going to have to accept that we both have the same brain, that it's gonna be back and forth for a while.
We're just starting. We'll get better.
Yeah.
Promise.
Yeah, we'll get better.
This is just for the aunties.
Yeah. Yeah. For now, it's for the aunties and the friends, because I know my friends are watching, because I'm going to send them the link.
That's cute.
I want to have them take notes. I hope people get like the whole base of this before I go on like the tangent of my recorder.
Yeah.
The point of this podcast is like, it's so relatable to be like struggling at the age we are.
Yeah, I think it's normal. And then it's almost too like, you're so not inspirational, like that's a dramatic word. You are, but
thank you.
I mean, just positive.
You
you know, saying like this is going to work or let's try this or willing to do new things. Because if you think about it, like anybody could go any day.
Mhm. That was really deep.
It's deep, but it's true.
No, it's
and
true.
people don't flex, like they don't even flinch from it until someone close to them or someone our age like ends up dying, and they're
No,
like,
that is so
wow,
true.
like this
Because
is
it puts everything into such a different perspective that
yeah,
no one thinks about until it happens.
yeah,
Because it's so like, it kind of like is an out of body experience because it's not like something normal that should
yeah.
happen ever.
And we're lucky to be living right now, not just for somebody else. Like we have a time, like our, you know, we're not living for our kids yet. We're not living for
Mhm.
like a spouse,
Yeah.
but you have the freedom and flexibility to do whatever you want.
Well,
You have
yeah.
to make some money and pay your bills,
Mhm.
but with the technology now, you can learn how to live like pretty cheap, right?
Yeah.
And get stuff done and like have a quick job and then start. You know, you have
But
the hours and the free time to try to
yeah,
start a new venture.
someone literally gave me that perspective the other day. Oh, it was my cousin. I was talking to
Yeah.
my cousin on the phone because I've just been like struggling with like what I'm doing, like where
Yeah.
I'm going in the future, like me wanting to do something like I genuinely am excited about and like proud of,
Yeah.
which I'm fine with what I'm doing now, and like I love my job and like my coworkers, whatever. But like I also do want to do fulfilling work because I feel like I have more potential and you have more potential to do stuff that like you actually love and want to do.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like the topic that we're talking about, like struggling in your 20s, is so relatable because I feel like everyone is like, even if they seem so put together, like it's everyone's struggling.
Yeah.
And like you said, like I'm very positive, whatever, but like I have my like internal struggles no one sees on like the day to day.
Yeah.
And
I
like
think that's hard.
would never guess.
It makes you feel isolated
Yeah.
because no one else does know or see.
Yeah. But it's good to talk about. I feel like this is like a therapy session because
Yeah.
like everyone's doing their own thing, and like also like I said, like how our backgrounds are different with you in you in college and like me a few years ago, like what I went through, like you still get to a place where you like figure it out.
Yeah. Do you want to go into that?
Should we go into that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the hamster funeral
Yeah.
recorder music.
At my hamster funeral. That's like one of my favorite stories.
Okay, tell that first so before we
Yeah, this is more lighthearted. I had so many hamsters growing up, like literally so many.
My parents wouldn't let me get one.
Really?
I printed one out and I named him
You
Soiree.
printed one out?
Huh? I printed one out on my home printer.
Oh, I'm like, you 3D printed a hamster?
No, I wish. I would do something like that.
The Starbucks food?
Yeah. All Starbucks food is 3D printed. We're
Yeah,
convinced.
for sure.
But I printed out this little guy. I named him Raul. And I
Cute.
taped him. I literally had to get a ladder and put it on my parents' bed when they weren't home. I taped a picture of him to the ceiling, thinking like this is a great proposal when they go to bed at night. They'll see Raul and like
Yeah. He's
as if
such a
that
cute
would
little
work.
guy.
They were so mad. It like pulled the paint off the ceiling.
Oh, you painted it?
No, I taped the picture to the ceiling and it messed up the paint because I used like duct tape.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But so I never got a hamster, bottom line.
Everyone needed a hamster at that age.
Yeah, I might have wanted a guinea pig, I think.
I wanted a bunny so bad just because they were soft.
Yeah. So your hamster died, right? What happened?
So I had like 6 that died, but not at the same time. We just had a lot of hamsters between
Yeah.
me and my sister. But this one was traumatic.
Yeah.
And this was the last hamster I ever had
Stop.
because I'm done. I was done after that.
What happened to
Trauma.
him?
So his name was Rusty. Rest in peace. I get home from school one day and I look in his cage ready to greet him, and he's like, I'm like, did he like hurt himself like on purpose? Like, did I do something wrong? Because Rusty was dead in the cage, like twisted neck under the wheel. Like, that's so disgusting, but like it's true. I had to live through it, so like you
Yeah.
can too. Like, that was so traumatic.
Getting nauseous.
It was so
about it.
disgusting, and I was by myself. My mom was up north, like at our cottage. I don't know where my dad was, probably at work. And I'm like, oh my god. So I like called my mom and I was like bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I had a funeral for him because like I just wanted to pay my respects. Like, he was
Yeah.
such a chill hamster, chill little guy.
So you had a funeral at your house?
Yeah, it was in my mom's garden. I don't know if he's still there because my mom's probably like, I'm not leaving this like
Little dead
hamster
rat.
remains in my garden. Thanks. But so I was really into the recorder because of elementary school. Like, you played like hot cross buns, whatever.
Yeah.
I learned Amazing Grace on my recorder. Did I tell you?
No.
Yeah, I learned Amazing Grace on my recorder and I played it at Rusty's funeral.
That is something.
And
I wish we had a video of this to
oh my
insert.
God, no, it was me and my mom, and then my sister had her window cracked, and her and her friend were dying laughing.
Yeah.
And I would like break between like playing like Amazing Grace, and I'd be like, "Can you literally like shut up?" Like I'm like clearly like I'm going through something, and she's like, "You are so weird. Like, what are you doing?" And my mom like is just so nice and will never be like, "You're weird."
Yeah.
She was so supportive, like so sweet. God bless her. But like, it was so weird.
Yeah.
Like truly so weird.
That's like the kind of thing
But
you
it's
do in
so
fifth
funny
grade.
to think about. Like I was fully like crying playing Amazing Grace on my recorder
Yeah.
for my hamster's funeral
What were we talking about before this?
with like college.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's go back to that.
Will tell you how you've like struggled like after college.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was hard to move home. So I left school, graduated, and I didn't want to move away because I'm really close to my family. So I didn't have an inclination to go to like Chicago where a lot of kids go or New York or anything. And work was different because we graduated or we were in junior year and then COVID came. So the internships for the summer where they took a lot
You
of
like
MBA
got completely
students.
screwed over.
Huh?
You like got screwed over.
Yeah, a little bit. And they told us like so I was interviewing in a couple places like a VC and a private equity company in Detroit, and both of them were like, we're going to take MBA students because everyone has to work on their computer at home.
Mm-hmm.
This is before like work from home, right? Like it
Yeah.
still was for some people, but not really. So I didn't have that. And then this guy came to my class to talk about blockchain, and he was starting this company. So I asked him to work for them, and that ended up working out. So that was great. But it was remote. So whatever, did that in the summer, went back to college, like kind of half, like online, half in person. But we all had our leases signed already. And then when I graduated, I was like, I'm not moving to Chicago. This office is in Novi. I was like, let me move home to save some money to buy a rental property that I could live in, and then like kind of house hack, get a roommate, have them help pay off the mortgage. So I was trying to save money, but I was also like spending money because I was like, I'm living at home.
Yeah.
And I bought a rental property in Port Huron, and I thought I was going to rent it. And then I got into the whole thing of like,
Were you trying to be like an Airbnb host?
yeah, like Airbnb,
Cool.
but not short-term rental. I was going to do like long-term single family homes
Oh, okay.
and like start up this whole portfolio.
Yeah.
And so I start trying to do it, and like I get to the first like 3 steps after I buy the house. So I bought like a really cheap one in Port Huron, thinking it was like a great idea. The house was built in 1885.
Well, it's vintage.
There was like rats in the deep
Yeah.
basement of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the rats out. I cleaned the windows. I took down the drapes, and I changed the smoke alarms. And then I relisted it, and I made like 30 grand on it.
It's kind of smart.
It just shouldn't have worked. Like it was a godsend that it worked.
Yeah.
But so then here I am like with a little bit more money than before, but still not enough to come down. Like I knew I wanted to be in Royal Oak or Birmingham, but I knew like that really wasn't great for a down payment somewhere here. So I was like, I guess at some point I just need to keep living here and then move out, or I need to rent. Because I was like, I'm not going to figure this out to do it perfectly. And like, it was taking a lot of time. Like I was trying to learn about everything about it, but I was still trying to work. So then I just moved into a rental property that wasn't mine, with my current roommate and this another roommate. And that was great to move out. But as this time passed, this was like a year and a half after graduating. So I think being at home and like after being at college for 4 years, the dynamic was a lot more difficult. So it's like you're on your computer, you wake up, go on your computer. And then thankfully I had family to spend time with. But like outside of that, I didn't have a ton of friends at home still because they had moved. So I'm like, I felt stagnant, right? I'm like, what else am I doing? I'm doing a job that I like. I was learning stuff, but it wasn't where my heart was at, right? And then so I was sitting there and I was like, I kind of need to do something different. I started coaching high school basketball.
You're like
Literally,
from like
because-
being an Airbnb host to like this. Like, what?
But I didn't execute the rental
You have so
property.
many lives.
That's what I feel like too when we were thinking about this, because you were talking about introductions, and I feel like I'm a shapeshifter, like
Literally.
not in a fake way. Like I'm not fake to people.
No, it's
about
in a
it.
good way, like where you're like also always down to learn something new, which is such a
Yeah.
good like trait.
I feel like I've gone through phases. I'm very like, if I find something I like, I'm very deep, like special interest. So like I've been like a crypto person. I've been
Crypto
like
princess.
Yeah, literally. I've been like a horse girl, like a farm person, like a fake farm person, like nothing to do with horses, but like a Yellowstone vibe.
Yeah.
I've been like a skater. Like I used to build skateboard decks in my basement to my parents.
That's kind of cool.
Not really, but kind of, right?
That is.
That's what I
I
got
don't
into
think you
video.
give yourself enough credit.
I mean, it's cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
It like makes life interesting. And I feel like now I have skill sets across the board.
Exactly.
So if I meet someone, I can talk about what they want to talk about. because I have a little bit of experience,
To relate.
Yeah. But I feel like you're like that too, especially after like your type of work right now. You're meeting so many people.
Oh, I meet so many people every day.
So you were telling me a little bit about the production side. Is that why you wanted to get into this podcast?
Yeah, so when I went away to school, like my freshman year, I went off to college. And prior to that, I was originally just going to go to like a broadcasting school because I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do something in broadcast. Like in high school, I met my old boss who worked for like the production company.
Yeah.
And the simplest way to put it. And he
Wait,
taught
so
me
when you
like
first told me this, though, what'd
yeah,
you call
I
it?
first
The
phrased it
associate
as I was
agent
like, oh
director.
yeah, I used to work at the school's board offices, cable companies, like production company. And she's like, that was a lot. That was really overwhelming. But like he was honestly amazing. He taught me like a little bit of everything. Like I've done
Yeah.
from like hosting events to like editing to like learning how to do like the digital side of like working at a football game like in the truck like with all the monitors. And like that was really cool too to see.
Jason
like,
Bourne shit.
Yeah, like it was just like cool. Like I've gotten a little bit of everything. He taught me so much, and it's like I didn't realize until like years later. Like I knew in the moment, but like we were kind of just like going like every day, and I would learn something new, and I was like, this is so cool. But he did give me so much experience. But then when I went off to college, it was just like so last minute because I was like, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to be different from like what my friends are doing, and then I ended up being really unhappy.
Yeah.
Like so unhappy, and it was like such a hard time in my life because I decided to move home like literally just a semester after I went, and I was like, oh my god, like this looks so bad. Like I really cared about, like I was so down about like all my friends are like doing their thing, like no one else is struggling. That was like my internal thing. Like they're gonna look at me and be like, oh my god, she's like like not like trash, but like she couldn't do it. Like it's like she doesn't have an education. Like I still struggle with that. Like I'm so educated in different ways where it's like college life just didn't work out for me, but like I still get insecure when they're like, where did you go to school? Where I'm like, well, I didn't quite finish like whatever, but it's like you can do other things in life. But back then when I first left, my parents, thank God, they were so supportive because they were like, no, you have so many options. Like you have skills. Like you're not just like dropping out of school and just like doing nothing with your life. Like
I think America is coming to terms with that. Like, you don't have to go to a university
but
to have
still
skills. There's
like,
so much training. There's so much respect in like just having things that you're able to do.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, and it makes me feel sad when I hear that because I know so many very skilled people in different jobs, different facets, crazy across the board, right? Like there's super skilled electrician, or there's a person that's a stylist, right? And they style for like amazing different
but not even that. Like when I first did it, like I did it by myself. Like all my whole family, they went to school. Like my sister graduated from U of M. Like so successful. Like everyone, like I look up to everyone so much. But like I'm like not the black sheep, but I'm different from everyone. Even my friends. Like everyone's so successful within like that aspect of life that like it made me feel like I wasn't succeeding. And so I'm like, oh God. But like at the end of the day, like I did what I needed to do for myself, and now I'm here. It's like 5 years later, like I struggled with like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, and like I would have people constantly in my ear, like no one knows what they're doing. Like it's fine. Like at least if you're still working on it, like it's fine. And like for a while there, my mom would like ask me, well, what are your interests? And I'm like, for a while, like, I don't know. Like I don't have any interests. Like, and it would make me mad because I'm like, what am I doing? Now that I'm back here, you see the other side where it's like it all works out in the end if you're like working and like there's a way to do stuff. If you have like the right people behind you and like just stay motivated, like it'll all work out. It's okay. Like who cares that you did something different than everyone else?
I try to give myself confidence in that when I get down about stuff. I'm like, there's God's plan. Something didn't work out, or you get fired. Like I've been fired. Like not like you're fired, but like or you get off of a job. So with me doing freelance video, that's happened before. Someone says I don't want to continue for X, Y, and Z. Like who knows the reason, right? But that's kind of stuff as a downer. But I think every single person in their life can say, at some point, like I left some sort of engagement, may it be a relationship, work, college, and you feel it hurts, you leave and you're like, I didn't expect that. Even if it's not totally written out, you just still feel like shit. But that's the moment when you have to say to yourself, there's a reason, right? Maybe my time shouldn't be directed on this. There's a better use of my time somewhere else that I don't know the plan.
Yeah, that's what I always go back to too. Like, I would always think like, oh, I wish I would have done this. But like,
Yeah.
if I went a different path, like I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Yeah.
So like, there's always a reason for everything. I'm such a believer in that. Like, there's everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You got to look at it in that way, because like every little thing, if you changed it even a little bit with like, oh, if I didn't do this, like I wouldn't have met certain people I know now that I know and love. Like,
Yeah.
so you can't like look back on the past and regret it. But like, especially at this age, you have to like constantly remind yourself, stay positive, stay motivated, even though it's hard to stay positive. But like, where you are now, like, doesn't mean that you're not going to succeed in the future. Like,
yeah. I feel like people have to know you can pivot. It's crazy
Yeah.
right now. People will start working, right? Like I'll go to school with somebody in finance and we graduated. So I assume, right? We're all going to go get a job in finance, right?
Mhm.
And then they probably look at me and they're like, is she okay? Right.
Yeah.
And then I'll look at some other people and I'll be like, oh my word, he has a lawn mowing company now in Florida.
Yeah.
But like he was supposed to work in Chicago at Merrill Lynch.
Yeah.
So you're just like, this is like,
Yeah.
but it's our day and age. It's the ability, I think, to pivot. Like in 200 years ago, if you were born into a family that chops wood, you know, you're probably going to chop
You're chopping wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're churning butter, you're churning butter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think all of it is what it is. It's life, you know, and I think our reality is changing online with watching stuff, you know, how we digest what other people are doing, because that gives you relational experience.
Yeah. And it's okay to be different from other people, even if it's not like the norm.
Yeah. I think I'm the queen of that, like doing dumb shit that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Like new ventures.
Me too.
And then just like changing it. And then people are like,
but that's okay. Like, at least you're trying.
Yeah. That's what I tell myself. And I'm like, it's something at some point it's going to work out.
Yeah.
I know I need a little bit more focus, but that'll come with maturity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all struggle with focus.
Yeah.
You know?
Partially from distractions.
I think everyone has like a touch of ADHD.
Yeah. No, I totally
And
agree.
lactose intolerance. I'm not kidding. I think everyone's lactose intolerant.
I think it's because the alternative chemicals. Have you like studied any of that before?
No.
I'm so into seed oil shit and like what? Like if you look at all the ingredients in any sort of processed
This is
food,
our ADHD spiking right now.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know what's in my body. There's a lot of processed food in there.
Yeah. Dude, I'm the first one. All my friends know. Like I eat ridiculous. Like buffalo chicken is my main food group.
I love buffalo chicken.
Yeah. A good buffalo chicken dip.
You know what I love is Dippin' Dots, and those have to be processed.
Oh, my word.
I spent $200 in Dippin' Dots once.
Where?
I sent it to my house because I learned you could like buy a party size.
Did you eat
it
them
was
all?
During COVID. I had like that like COVID money.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just from the government. Thank you.
You used your stimulus check on Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, I did. Dippin' Dots and DoorDash. Like I could have saved all of that. Come on.
How much was the stimulus check when it first came out? $800?
I don't even remember. All I know is it was like, wow, that's amazing. I'm buying Dippin' Dots.
That period of time was
so weird. It doesn't even feel real.
It doesn't at all. And the fact that we were all thinking, oh, we need to stay here, like away. And you look at all the highways, no one was driving.
Kind of creepy.
Why did no one test it out? Like, why did no one challenge it? Say, oh, I'm just going to drive around.
I think I did drive around.
Do you remember the first 3 weeks, like the third week of the first?
It was creepy.
We were 20 days in and they're like, you can't drive, you'll get pulled over.
Yeah.
It's like, what
I
policeman?
swear, I feel like I was in like some, I don't know. I feel like I was in Final Destination. Like if you leave your house, you're like gonna go to prison.
Yeah. I don't even concept that anymore. I've never sat down to think about
that. Like it like gives me anxiety to think about. And it doesn't feel like real.
Yeah, we're gonna look back and think about that.
It doesn't feel real at all.
Do you remember all those weird articles about people being like dating during the pandemic? How to handle it?
How was that a thing?
I'm like, okay.
Please let me know.
Well, think about the people that just like started dating someone, so they're 3 months in.
Oh,
weird.
Well, they would quarantine together.
That's what's weird. So they would be like,
that would give me such anxiety.
Dude.
Let alone like even like having to use the bathroom. You're trapped.
Yeah, you couldn't even really go outside. They told you not to for a while.
Yeah. And
now
like,
everything comes
I
out that
with,
mask
like,
didn't work.
Yeah, I need my own space. Like I struggle with opening up my space to people. So like I would, well, like relationship wise, not friend wise, but like, oh, that would give me anxiety.
Yeah. So I think we should, like, as a takeaway, we should plan you some sort of like date so the viewers can like be anxious to hear what happened.
Should we like set up like a Hinge account straight?
I think we set you up on a blind date. I bring somebody to the table.
Can it be your choice though?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I'm
you
gonna
just
pick
don't tell
somebody.
me who it is?
Yeah, and you'll go out with them on Monday next week. So we'll give this to these guys tonight, and you'll go on
We
your
can
date
go-
on Monday.
I could go on a date tonight.
Will you?
Yeah. Other people tell me this too, that like I don't give people enough of a chance because
Okay.
I'm so okay with being single, but also like would love to have that connection, but
Yeah.
also think like this isn't genuine. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
My mom's like, you don't even give it time to like work.
That's
And
fair.
like, that's true.
I think I want to set you up on very absurd dates.
Well, I make it somewhat okay. I trust
No, good
you.
people, but funny pranks.
Yeah.
So my first one, I'm gonna tell you an example of like the type of date. I'm gonna rent you guys one of those slingshot cars, you know, with like the goggles and like the roof is
Wait,
off.
that would be so fun.
It's a 3-wheel thing, and people play the loud music.
That's
I think
so
they're
fun.
Cool.
Can you do that?
Stuff like that. Like I'll
Okay.
set you up.
Well, can we do one tonight and then the rest can get more extravagant?
Yeah. Tonight will just be basic.
So we'll recap the one tonight next week.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll tell them. We'll give them an update.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have people up my sleeve.
That'll be kind of fun.
Yeah. No, it'll be good.
I'm down.
How should we do a sign off? We're going to ask our viewers for opinions on
Yeah.
how we exit and enter, right?
Yeah. Because that's honestly the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. Well, thank you all for listening. I think we can say that, right?
Yeah. If you got this far, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be like my dad. So thanks, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. My mom's going to be sharing
And
this on
my
Facebook.
mom. But my dad is especially excited. He's been texting me today.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I think it's cool. Just like if you look at the genuine support we've already received.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people like us that I know everybody has somebody that loves them, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't, like we will be
Yeah.
that person. So I just think people should take the step to try stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And just know you're not alone, especially at this age.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody feels lost.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But we're all
than
figuring it
people
out.
realize.
Yep. One step at a time, right?
Yeah, literally.
Bye, guys.
Bye.